All right. Welcome to my first stream. Oh, I'm hearing myself in my headphones. Let's turn that off. My name is Connor McBrine-Ellis. I am a technology enthusiast, and I do it for my day job. I also just enjoy tinkering, and something I've wanted to do for a long time is share some tips and things that I find interesting on YouTube. So here is my first attempt at doing that with a live stream. So it's pretty exciting, and today I want to talk about ZabbixCI, which is a new tool. I've been using Zabbix for a number of years now for monitoring, and I have run into challenges managing templates across multiple servers. So what I'm going to do today is demonstrate how you can use ZabbixCI to sync and keep all of your templates in sync across multiple servers. So what we can do is get right started and hop into Proxmox here. And first thing we'll want to do is set up a couple Zabbix servers to test with. So we'll go to Zabbix Proxmox template LXC. No, what is it? Proxmox. Here, I'm already messing up. Proxmox helper scripts. That's what it's called. There we go. So we will want to go here and have a look at Zabbix. And I'm running Proxmox. You can also install Zabbix using Zabbix container containerized deployments. So that's there's images available in the GitHub container registry to deploy Zabbix. Or of course, if you have a VM, you can just install it using the package manager. But personally, I'm into containerizing everything nowadays. And yeah, if you're running Proxmox, this is probably the absolute easiest way to quickly get a Zabbix server going. So yeah, I'll put a link for this in the description afterwards. I didn't put it in there yet, but I'll do that after. Actually, you know what I can do? I can put that in the chat. Can I? No. Well, I thought I could. Wait a second. There we go. Yeah, I can. Okay, so we can go right ahead and copy that command and pop into here and pull up a shell. And then we'll just paste that command there. This will create a new Zabbix LXC. Yes, let's proceed. We're going to go advanced, and we're going to put Debian 12. Keep it unprivileged. I'll just leave the default there. Leave the default there. And we're going to stand up two Zabbix servers and basically have one Zabbix server where we pull the templates from, basically the development server, and push those into Git, make a change, and then pull that change into our prod Zabbix server. So we'll have two servers. And we'll leave all the defaults here. I'm going to give it a static IP. Or no, I am going to leave it DHCP. Leave all these defaults. DNS server, I got to give it that one. Leave the defaults. Oh, whoops, I think I needed that to not be. I messed up. Sorry, folks. First time doing this. Yeah. Zabbix dev. Leave all of that, 172.21.12. I picked 21.12 because of the Rush album. And I want to have VLAN 42 because of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah, sure, for verbose mode. All right, let's create ZabbixLXC. So this will be our first one, and then we'll make a second one. So we should start to see that show up here in Proxmox. Cool. And it's already created and it is now installing. And well, that installs. Maybe I can talk about some of the challenges with managing Zabbix templates. So they have added some new features in Zabbix 7, like allowing you to specifically have a version number in templates. And in version 6, I think, or maybe it was 5 something, they added UUIDs for all of the different items in templates. So basically it allowed it to know whether an item was the same item that you're making a change to or not. So helps with updating the templates. But there was no real easy way to keep a whole bunch of different Zabbix servers templates all in sync. So one method that I ended up using was using the Ansible community for Zabbix collection, community.zabbix collection rather. And inside of this Ansible collection, there is a module called Zabbix template. And I used this for a couple years and it works pretty well. Basically, I created a Git repo, threw all of the templates in there, and then kept them centralized, and then I had Ansible enumerate all of those files and then push them one by one up to a particular Zabbix server. And it's kind of slow, and when I found ZabbixCI, I was super excited because to be honest, I was thinking of kind of coming up with a solution like this myself, where I was hoping that one would exist, but the only thing I could find was using Ansible. That was the closest I could find until this tool just came around now. So it's a pretty new project, so maybe give them some love and star the project and maybe try, test it out, contribute, add issues if you find bugs and stuff. Let me get the second LXC going here. Debian 12, unprivileged, Zabbix prod. All right, that's creating. Yeah, I already opened an issue. Basically, one issue that I immediately noticed was that when ZabbixCI commits your changes up to Git, it won't use the variables that you set for your Git author name and email. So that was a little bit weird, but hopefully they'll fix it. So just open that issue up. What else can we talk about? Zabbix itself, it's a pretty awesome solution. It's great. What else? Yeah. Let's create our repo. Yeah, we got to do that. I was thinking of what can I do to kill time here? So let's create a repo to actually store our Zabbix templates in. So we'll go in here. We'll leave all the defaults here. Let's pick DevOps here. Cool. And then we got our repo. Very nice. And we're going to, let's try logging into our first server. So the first one is already ready, so we got to get in here. And there, the LXC container puts your default credentials inside of this zabbix.creds file. So let's get that so we can use it. And then first of all, let me check what the IP address is. What is the IP? Come on. 12.123. Oh, I like that. All right. Let's go in there. Oh yeah, it's /Zabbix. All right, we're into Zabbix 7. We can just click through here, and then we need this database password. That's what this is. So ZabbixDB, and the password is that. So we'll paste that in there. This is Zabbix dev, right? Yeah. Leave all the other defaults here. Finish. And then the default password for Zabbix is always admin and Zabbix. All right. So we got our first one up. Second one is there. Let's get that one up. Cool. Let's get the password for that. What was that? Swug 509X. Cool. Next, Zabbix prod. How do you guys like the sound of my keyboard? If you like the keyboard sounds, throw something in the chat. I don't know. Cool. So we've got both Zabbix servers up and accessible now. And right away we can pop into the templates here and see all the default templates. And this is that feature that they added in version 7, I think. It's not in 6 at least, and 6 is what I'm using a lot right now. Basically you can give your templates a version number, which is really nice. So you could know exactly what version of the template you're using. So that'll be great. But first of all, let's get started by installing ZabbixCI. All right, we're into ZabbixCI installing time now. So we'll pop into my terminal here. So I'm just going to install ZabbixCI locally on my laptop. So I already made a folder for it called ZabbixCI. There's nothing in here. We're going to create a Python venv. I don't know how people pronounce it, but yeah, we're creating that. And let's do that. So Python 3 m venv. If you see me looking over here, it's because I'm cheating and looking at my notes. So we created a venv there, and then we'll activate it. Venv bin activate. Cool. And then you know that you're inside of the virtual environment when you see that there. So Python venv is pretty handy. It allows you to install Python packages without messing your operating system up, basically. It just creates an environment just all isolated within one folder where you can install Python packages and whatnot. So we'll do pip install, that's the Python package manager, ZabbixCI. And now it's installing ZabbixCI. Ooh, we can get a new release of pip. Sure, why not? All right, so we got to create some config files. And ZabbixCI has an example config file inside of the docs folder on their GitHub repo. So we'll just copy that text, pop into VI, and I'm going to create two config files, Zabbix dev and Zabbix prod. Yeah, dev.yaml. And we'll pop in there and paste all of that nonsense. Cool. And we'll copy that and make another one. Whoops. Cool, done. So now we have the dev and prod files here. So let's go into Zabbix dev, our first one, and we'll have to make a couple changes here. How do you go all the way to the top? I can't remember. I know Shift G takes you right to the end, but anyways. So you can pick the template group that you want to use as your synchronization route. We'll just leave all the defaults. This cache path, we're going to modify that because each Zabbix server needs to have its own cache path. Otherwise it'll conflict when you run it. What else do we need to do here? Zabbix front-end URL. I think we got to include the /Zabbix here. So, cool. And Zabbix user, let's put admin, Zabbix password, Zabbix. We'll leave the tokens alone here. Okay, now we're getting to our git remote. Let's get that. Something weird that I ran into was it didn't like it when I didn't pre-create the branches. So I would recommend creating your Git repo, and when you create it, pick that, like, create it with the README option. When I was testing, I created it without the README, and it just didn't seem to like that. So we'll create a new branch for our dev stuff. So we're going to make changes, push it to dev, and then main will be our branch that we actually consider production, and then we'll do a merge request and then push that out to our prod Zabbix server. All right, so we've got dev and main. So here I'm going to put, oh yeah, that's right, the remote. Paste that in there. And we'll put pull branch, dev, and push branch, dev. Yeah, that seems right. Git username, let's just leave that. By the way, I have already configured my SSH key within my GitLab instance, so don't need to put anything else here. I think you can just leave the defaults. And then, yeah, I'll change the author name here, but it won't work. So why am I doing it? I don't know. For sake of completeness. All right, yeah, this all looks good. So we'll save that. Actually, I'm going to use that as the basis for the prod one, so we don't have to retype all that stuff. So we'll edit the prod one too. Yeah, cache path. Prude. Oh, you can put the vendor name. Cool. Let's put Connor. Very nice. And then my other one, which is 138. And I gotta change the branch to prod, no, main. Yeah, looks good. Save that one. All right, so yeah, we modified the URL, blah, blah, blah. So now we've got GitLab, pardon me, we got ZabbixCI installed, and we got 2 config files. So yeah, we can do ZabbixCI, and it's working, right? Yeah, cool. So you can check the ZabbixCI version by doing ZabbixCI version. If you give it a config file, then it will even tell you like the version of the API that you're working with. yeah, where am I on my notes here? We got the cache folders. Yeah, and we already created the branches and everything. So let's try and add some content to our Git repo. So we'll do ZabbixCI push, right? Yeah, push. Basically, we're pushing from Zabbix to Git. So we'll do a push, give it the config file, Zabbix dev, and we'll do v, which will make it verbose, so we can see what's going on. Cool. Let's try running that. Wow, it's already going. So basically what it does is it does batch export of every single template that is currently located on this server. And it puts it inside of a file. Oh, I'm already in ZabbixCI. It puts it inside of this cache folder. So let's take a look at the cache folder. So you can see that it's got a .git, so it basically creates a Git repo locally, which it will sync to. And from what I can tell, it does the export of all of the template files, and then it compares it to the contents of the Git repo. And any changes, it will then make a new commit for. So it's very much based on Git. So yeah, you can see it's already created the folders, which the folders match up with the template groups here. And yeah, it's pretty neat. So this takes a little bit. I guess I could have cleared it out ahead of time and made it go faster, but hey, this is we're live, baby. This is the real deal. Cool. Oh yeah, so now it does the check and it says detected change for all of these because the repo is completely empty right now. But if we had already done this push, then it would not list any of these as changed. So all of these are brand new as far as it's concerned. I set up a secondary camera angle, which I haven't used yet. Maybe I can try it out. Yeah, so at this point we've set up ZabbixCI. How do you feel? Was it difficult? Easy? I think it was pretty easy. Okay, that's done. Very nice. Whoops, that's the wrong button. All right. Cool, so now it has finished, and you can see here it says it's staged the changes, and now it's committed them up to my GitLab server. And if I go up here, you should see here it says you pushed to dev 25 seconds ago. Very cool, and yeah, it's got ZabbixCI instead of my name, which is that bug. But now we've got a templates folder here, and this templates folder has all of our templates, which is awesome. Cool. Yeah, and then if we go to main, there's nothing yet. Well, first of all, let's do a merge request and push the changes that we just did over to main. So we'll do that. We'll just leave all the defaults here and yeah. Merge. Oh no, I deleted my source branch. That's not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. I can recreate it. So now main has those templates, and because both of the servers are brand new, if I run the, let me just close this. Yes. If I run this again, if I run this using the prod file that I created, it will download all the templates from the prod server. It will download the Git repo, and it won't see any changes, I don't believe. I'm not going to do it because it'll take too long, and we're going to make a change anyways. But basically, it would just say no changes detected and do nothing, because they're both come with the stock templates, which are the exact same. So let's recreate that dev branch, because we need that to make our changes. Let's do new branch, call dev already. And yeah, that's created. And now from here we can, let's make a change. So we'll go to our dev system here. Let's create a new template group called Connor Tech YouTube stuff, and add that. Oh, actually I gotta put this underneath templates, because remember it has that root of templates, and it won't sync anything outside of that. So now we can create a test template. Create a template, and we're going to call it test template for YouTube video, and we'll put it inside of that template group. This is a test of the template syncing of ZabbixCI. Cool. All right, so now our prod server has a new template, and let's just assume that this template is what we want to push to our prod environment. Let's do it using ZabbixCI. So we'll do another push from dev, and it will pull all of the templates once again, but it will just detect the one template that we changed, I hope. Kind of sits here for a little bit, so you gotta wait. It's getting darker. There we go. It's like watching paint dry. It's very exciting. I do actually enjoy this though. I'll throw a link to ZabbixCI in the chat as well. So I'm just getting our prod server ready. So currently there's no template called test. So we'll use ZabbixCI to push it over there. All right. It's pretty cool that they've been adding so many official templates though. The list has grown quite a bit larger. And even stuff like cloud services you can monitor using your Zabbix server. Alrighty, very exciting. It worked. So you can see that the remote differs from local state. Preparing to push. So it detected our new template group and created a folder for that. And then we've got our template here, test template.yaml. and then it stages the changes and it commits it. I kind of wish that it would allow you to put your own commit message. Is that possible? I don't see any option that has the word commit in it. Get author name. I wonder if I use this -- get author name, whether that would work. I mean, it didn't work in the config file, so I'll just assume that it doesn't work. Okay, so now if we go up here and look at our dev branch, you can see that it has got the new folder, Connor Tech YouTube stuff. And now we need to do another merge request, so we'll just click on that handy button there. Add Connor Tech YouTube stuff template. And I'll uncheck that delete source branch because I don't want it to do that. And we'll squash the commits. Create a merge request. Cool. Yes, I approve my own work. Yeah, let's merge it. Cool. So now if we go back here to main, you can see that underneath the folder there, we got our commit message and the templates there and everything. Okay, so we're going to use our ZabbixCI pull command now for the first time. And we'll give it the prod config file. And let's see what that does. If you're watching this after the stream has ended, feel free to fast forward. Kind of wish I had shortened the list of templates, so this part didn't take quite so long. But anyways. Cool. You can see now we got a cache prod folder here. Pardon me. And then it's already got the stuff there. But you can see that it does not have the folder that we added. At least not yet. Oh, it's still adding folders. Cool. So I guess it does the export first, then it grabs the stuff from Git. If you have any suggestions for other topics that I might be able to cover, please let me know. If you have any burning Zabbix questions, I'll try my best to answer them. Yeah, hoping to do more home lab videos in the future, sharing stuff like how to run your own server at home, and yeah, if you guys haven't heard of it yet, definitely check out Image. Image is my favorite project right now. It is a self-hosted Google Photos style photo and video management solution. And it is awesome. You can support them by buying merch and stuff, but it is a really cool project and it's getting some traction. And honestly, I feel like self-hosting is the future. Obviously, there's a bit of a learning curve there that I think could be improved on. Right now, it's kind of an enthusiast sort of thing. All right, it worked at long last. How long is our stream so far? Anyways, it's long. 35 minutes. All right. Yeah, we've got the change has been applied and it has taken effect in our production server. There's our template. And I'm sure if you've dealt with templates, you can see the benefit of this for your own environment. I guess that kind of wraps up the stream. Yeah, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. And see you next time. Please subscribe and all of that other good stuff. Take care.